Let's launch PageZephyr 3.0 for the Macintosh. Welcome to PageZephyr. Explains that PageZephyr is a standalone application to help you find, view, and extract text from QuickExpress, InDesign, and Microsoft Publisher documents without having these apps or applications loaded on your computer. What you need to do to get started is to index your content. So we click Continue to begin. PageZephyr is able to search for and index these file types. Please select the types of files you would like PageZephyr to search for and index. You want to do all. PageZephyr will monitor locations you choose below for newly changed or added documents. So what you can do, you can add in your entire drive here, or volume, and it will also search over the network if you choose network connected volumes. In this case, let's choose test files folder, and it will warn you index on. Yes, we do want to index it, and we hit continue. Show styled stories. This may slow down the performance of the application, but it is much better if you can turn this on. Do as such. Then you get the full stylization of the text. Colors, size, bold, italic, you name it. Finish. And now you see here, it's indexing. And show up over here, all your files, which we'll get to in a moment. So let this do its trick here. Alright, so now we see PageZephyr 3.0 here, the new version of PageZephyr. And we see that it's indexed all of our files, our whole volume of files, or a directory in this case. So it's pretty quick, probably about 40 minutes to do all those files. I think less even, maybe like only 30 minutes. It really depends on the style and the stylization and the attributes of the document, how long it takes. So it's not that bad. You can drill in and see all the files here, and you can click on one and see the content. And you can also drill in and see page by page the content, which is quite neat. I don't even need to have Quark or InDesign on this machine. I happen to have that, and if you right-click any file, you can reveal in Finder or even open the document in this case, InDesign. So very handy PageZephyr right here. Now let's show some real-life uses. I mean, very handy for publishers, corporations, but also printers, repro houses, pre-press studios, service bureaus, designers. And here's a real-life situation. Actually, one of the reasons we created this product, we had a customer years ago that was doing an interview on the Prince of Monaco at the time. And years earlier, 10 years before that, they had already done the interview on the Prince of Monaco, but they didn't know it. So they went and redid all the background information on the Prince of Monaco. And what they found is that cost them, naturally, thousands. But the problem was, they already had the historical information on this prince from an early article they did 10 years earlier. But they didn't have it properly indexed. So with PageZephyr, you can index all your DTP files. Well, what we support, of course, the main ones, Adobe InDesign, QuickExpress, and even Microsoft Publisher. So you don't even have to open them or even have the programs even available anymore. It could be legacy old content. But we will find where keywords or terms or content is used. For instance, if I go up here and I do a search for God, contains all words, we hit enter, and what you see is we now get only files where the term God is used. And when we click on a file, in this case a QuickExpress file, what you see is we get highlighted exactly where the term is used. Alright? So very, very handy for finding content quickly and pinpointing exactly where it is used. Alright, so extremely useful. Now let's go back in and show you how you can reuse this content. And for that, we'll use search for flight check, of course, which we have a lot of terms on here using that, and our flight check sales guide. So flight check is, and now I'm going to actually do some changes in the PageZephyr interface here, a standalone application. I don't have this file natively open in InDesign, and I'm going to change some information. And that information, flight check is now called flight check, and it's version 6.90. And overcoming objections, that's fine, except the price is 399 euros or 399 US dollars. Very good deal. Don't know why I would have to overcome this objection, but hey, you know. Of course, there's, overcoming objections, part of any sales process. Flight check, by the way, also supports CS6 now and Quark 9. And like it says, it pretty much pays for itself after only one job. I need to update this information, take away the professional, because we just call it flight check now. We've combined everything, our flight check designer, flight check professional, into one, really affordable tool for anybody, flight check. And the objections more or less stay the same, so this content I can reuse. These answers I can reuse. I can even go in and I can, with Command plus, I can make fonts bigger. I can change font colors. Now I've updated content quickly here. Why? Because I want to reuse this content in this case. Now if I want to open it in InDesign, I can control right click and open that right up in InDesign as I showed you before. Or I could use one of Marksware's conversion tools to convert to another format, another DTP format. However, what I want to do here is simply repurpose this content. And how do we do that? Well, we have many options in PageZephyr. We have many other videos showing you how this works, so I'm not going to show you too much detail. You can check out our other videos, which I'll put some links in the video on YouTube here so you can quickly open that up in a new window. But in brief, the options are you can save out this content. I can copy and paste this content. But to show you how I can save, I just do save, and I say flight check sales guide 2013. And I can save it as stylized RTF, which is really cool. So save that out, and we'll check that out later. We can go to a blog and make a new account, accept comments if I'd like, and I can even assign further more categories. You have to say I agree to the Marksware copyright policy, and you hit export, and this content is now going to be freed up to the internet, stylized, right up online, repurposed just like that. There you go. The upload to your blog was successful. Finished. We'll check that out in a moment. You can post to Google Docs, very useful. Once again, I have videos and all this, so you can check that out later. Post to Scribd, also very useful for content. And you can upload to box.net, also very useful. I have little wizards to help you set all this up. We now get the story, and you see we have the updated text. Of course, if you went to Google Docs, you would get stylization. WordPress has another form of stylization, so you don't always get everything 100%. You might have to do some touching up in terms of size. But what you see is that you do get the, which is quite cool, the different font variations, which is really, really interesting. We get the tags, which is also very cool. So when you look at this, you see, I had to have some old information there. But what you see is that you can very quickly and easier with PageZephyr repurpose content. If I open up that RTF file, or we export, you see we get all that information, so you can use it for many other purposes. You can then take this information and copy and paste it into many different forms. So it is extremely useful, PageZephyr 3.0, to not only help you index and find content, but to also gain access to it as a standalone application without needing all the expensive Creative Suite or Quark Express or Microsoft Publisher applications. Extremely useful. For more information, cruise on over to marksware.com. There, under our products section, you can find PageZephyr. There's also a wealth of information there. You can also download a demo and try for yourself PageZephyr. Only €99.99. Here's a download right here. Thank you. This has been David Dilling from Marksware. Please always feel free to contact us. Wishing you a fantastic 2013. Till the next time.